In 1978, Zaire, now the Democratic Republic of Congo, witnessed a significant and grim event in its tumultuous political history. 13 soldiers and civilians were sentenced to death for their involvement in a plot to overthrow President Mobutu Sese Seko, the authoritarian leader who had ruled the country with an iron fist since 1965. This event underscored the precarious nature of political stability in Zaire and highlighted Mobutu's ruthless measures to maintain his grip on power. The trial and sentencing. The trial of the accused was held in a military court where Major Kalum Amba and other alleged conspirators faced charges of conspiracy and treason. The proceedings were marked by heavy security, with the accused being escorted into the courtroom under tight guard. The atmosphere was tense, reflecting the high stakes involved and the government's determination to quash any threats to Mobutu's regime. During the trial, the prosecution presented evidence that the accused had planned to overthrow Mobutu's government through a coup d'état. The charges included detailed accounts of meetings, communications, and plans to seize key installations and eliminate key figures loyal to Mobutu. The defense, on the other hand, struggled to counter the overwhelming evidence presented by the state. Execution and public reaction. Following the trial, the 13 accused were found guilty and sentenced to death. The executions were carried out swiftly, sending a stark message to anyone contemplating rebellion against Mobutu's rule. The government's decision to execute the conspirators was intended to demonstrate the severe consequences of dissent and to deter future plots against the regime. The executions were met with mixed reactions both domestically and internationally. Within Zaire, fear and repression characterized the political climate, with many citizens apprehensive about expressing any form of opposition. The executions served to reinforce the atmosphere of intimidation and control that Mobutu had cultivated throughout his rule. Internationally, human rights organizations and some foreign governments condemned the executions, criticizing the lack of due process and the harsh penalties imposed. However, Mobutu's regime largely ignored these criticisms, focusing instead on consolidating internal power and maintaining order. Mobutu's regime and legacy. Mobutu Sese Seko's rule was characterized by a combination of authoritarianism, patronage, and repression. His ability to stay in power for over 3 decades was partly due to his ruthless suppression of opposition and dissent. The 1978 executions were a clear example of the lengths to which Mobutu would go to secure his position. Despite these measures, Mobutu's regime faced persistent challenges, including economic decline, corruption, and growing discontent among the population. The heavy-handed tactics used to maintain control only served to deepen the resentment and opposition that would eventually contribute to his downfall in 1997. Conclusion: the execution of 13 soldiers and civilians in 1978 for plotting to overthrow President Mobutu Sese Seko was a stark reminder of the brutal realities of political life in Zaire under Mobutu's rule. This event highlighted the regime's reliance on fear and repression to maintain control, reflecting the broader struggles and turmoil that defined Zaire's political landscape during this period.